Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Alliance Gaming. Now, so today we're going to do a guide on Kael. This guy is a beast early on, and he is viable all the way through to end game. So let's go ahead and find him here, and I'll show you how I've got him built out. All right, so took some gear off of him actually. All right, so let's start with his skills. All right, his A1 attacks one enemy, 80% chance of placing a 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Now, that's the weak sauce poison, okay? But he makes up for it with his A3. His A2 is his nuke. Okay, attacks all enemies, extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Fills the turn meter of this champion by 25% for each enemy killed. So you only need to get this dude to 85% crit rate. Actually, it might be 70%. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's 70%. All right. His A3 attacks 4 times at random, has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. This thing is awesome, okay? This hits pretty hard. But that 5% poison is what you want for clan boss, okay? Now, this book's down to a 4-turn cooldown, so not great, but early game, he'll get you through. All right? Early clan boss, easy, normal, hard, brutal, he can get you through. When you start hitting Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, you're going to start wanting to really look for somebody else to put those poisons on, but he could still do the job as long as his accuracy's high enough. Okay, for his masteries, here's how I have him built. Okay. So I did a standard build down the offensive tree. Obviously, crit rate, crit damage. Okay. Heart of Glory, damage by 5% when attacking with full HP. And then I came on down into Helm Smasher. Okay. Now, 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the target's defense. Skills that'll ignore defense. This 25% is in addition to the amount ignored by the skill. Okay, now, he very well, I could have gone, probably should have actually gone War Master on him. But I never really used him for Clan Boss. I mostly used him in Arena. Early on, he was my big nuke. I pulled a couple of good legendaries fairly early on. In the lines of Lysandra and Zavia. So, I also went down the defense tree for him. Now, if you have a hard time with his accuracy, or if you're a real early game, you definitely want to come down this accuracy tree. Increase the accuracy as much as you can so you can get those poisons landed. Okay? Now, how I have him geared, I have him geared for what I was using him for in Arena. Fairly early on. So, Savage crit rate. I stole his amulet for somebody else. But as you can see, guys, I do not have all of the absolute top-end gear. He's not geared all out. As you can tell, he's still got quite a bit of 4-star gear. So you can tell I haven't used him in quite a while, but he can still hit pretty good, even in this build. So let me go ahead and roll this amulet up here, and then I'm only going to roll it up to 12, but then we'll go ahead and we'll see him in some content. All right, so we just hit level 12 on this amulet. Absolute garbage stats on it. But that's okay. We don't want to, I want this to be something where everybody can kind of get an idea for him, okay? The goal is not to load him with as much high-end gear as possible. In fact, everything else I just left exactly as it was. So, let's take a look at this guy. Oh, hey, I like the daily quest, which I actually got to get done. So let's go ahead and throw him into some dungeons here. Early on, he's great in Spider for that nuke up to about 13, 14. He's actually really good in Spider for that nuke that you need to nuke down those Spiderlings. Potion keeps are pretty simple. Not really much, a whole lot really to deal with them. He's pretty good in Dragon's Lair. Let's go ahead and start there. Again, I'm not what you would consider very far end game. I don't have I'm not speed running dungeons. I'm not, anything like that. In fact, I'm actually still leveling this epic up, which she's actually really good. We might do a guide on her later on. She's actually one of the newer ones. But let's go ahead and take out that cold heart, and we will go ahead and bring in Kael. There he is. Now I'm just going to go ahead and run through this thing on auto real quick. Just kind of so you guys can kind of see how he does. He's not an absolute beast at this stage. He is still in a lot of he's pretty under geared. But he is an absolute monster for a campaign farmer. Okay, he does really well early game. He's not like Bellower or any of those Queen Ava, but he will work early game until you start getting some of those massive AOE champions. He's not a bad champion. Don't get me wrong. He's the best starter champion, and he will get you where you need to go to start kind of building you up, moving you on into the game a little bit further. Really good early to mid game. He starts dropping off a little bit come mid to late game. I don't really see him used much in the late game. He, as you can tell by his gear, he pretty much just sits for me. It's I've got other nuke champions that do a great job. I've got other poisoners. In fact, for my clan boss team, I've actually been using Battle for my poisoner. But as you can see, this isn't the fastest run in the world. But it works. I'm not speed running. I'm not. My account's not that good yet. I've got some great legendaries. I've got some great epics, and I've got a couple of pretty good rares. But I'm not like some of the other content creators out there. I don't have the absolute top champions and top gear, and I'm not to that point. So this is a little bit more realistic. Those guys, don't get me wrong, they do great stuff. I've talked to a couple of them, Hell Hades, BGE. Those guys are awesome guys. But so don't take it the wrong way. They're really good guys. They know they know their stuff. They know what they're doing. But they are way end game. So they do have a lot of that top end gear and stuff like that most of us normal players have a hard time kind of acquiring. But we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the dragon here. We're not going to sit here for 5 minutes and watch this run. So we'll cut back in when we get to the dragon. All right, so we're back at the dragon. As you can see, we've got the poison on. Now, Bad Elf does also throw poisons. But, Kael, he's not bad. He's not going to be an absolute beast for you late game. He can if you keep his gear up. So if, you kind of do what I did and you just kind of let that gear go by the wayside, he's obviously not going to be as good as he can be. But he's a great champion. we'll go ahead and skip to the end here, and just kind of show you what kind of damage he's done. All right, so here it is at the end. Kael, 484k in damage. Not an absolute beast, but like I said, his gear is very substandard, and I did use him mostly in arena, so I probably could, up his gear and get that taken care of. But so it's not great. It's probably garbage. Yep, flat stat. So next up, let's go ahead and bring him into Spider. I don't know if he's going to do enough for Spider 20. He might. Let's try him. Let's try that. I love my Torment. Now, normally at this point, if you're going to go with a nuke strat, you're using something like, a reset champion like Kaimar or Renegade, 2 Cold Hearts, 2 Royal Guards. In this case, well, we'll just see how it goes. Not going to say it's going to go pretty, but who knows? We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and skip ahead and kind of get towards the end here and see what happens. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring it down a little bit. The way I've got him right now, since he's been sitting, he's just not doing it. He's just not doing it. I mean, he did almost as much as Tormund, but Battle actually did more damage than the two of them. So let's go ahead and back this down. We'll go back to a level a lot of you are probably, roughly sitting at. We'll go ahead and bring it down to stage. Let's go stage 12. Okay, Spirit seems to always give people trouble. We're on the same team. Actually, no, we'll change that out for a different control champion just because a lot of you probably don't have him. Let's see if we can bring one into the level 50 or something. Who I got a vault. I'm going to try and avoid using a legendary if I can. Let's go ahead and bring in Umbral. She is a void, but she is absolutely amazing. And see if we can do it this way. And we'll go ahead and let this run, and we'll cut back in here at the end. Now, ideally, one of the things that you really want when you're running Spider that I don't have in this comp is actually a turn meter control. If you don't have somebody like a Lysandra or something like that, you can actually use. There's an uncommon that's absolutely amazing, Armiger. So he's super easy to build. You want him at 100% crit rate because he decreases turn meter. I want to say off the top of my head, 30% for each crit. His A1 hits 3 times. So you're looking good there. But you want that 100% crit. Other than that, he does need accuracy to land it. Other than that, you build him tanky. You jack up his HP, jack up his defense, and you're in good shape. Okay? So you can use him for turn meter control. You can find him in the market. He comes out of freaking the green shards. But, we're moving on. It's taken a little bit because we do not have turn meter control. Spider has healed a couple of times. But, right there, I mean, his A3 just hit for 22K. He's not even built great right now. He's actually built pretty bad. So you want to use the best gear you can on him. When we come out of Spider, I will go ahead and show you what gear I have on him right now. It is a lot of 4-star, stuff. I haven't used him for a nuke in quite a while. I actually had pulled Foley and a couple other nuke champions. So let's go ahead and I'll show you exactly what I've got on him right now. As he was the last time I used him. So I have him in an attack banner. Again, he was a nuke. Normally you would want accuracy on that. But because I did use him in arena as my arena nuker for a long time, obviously, as you can see, there's almost no accuracy on him whatsoever. Crit damage neck, attack ring. Now, this normally you would want him in speed boots. Okay. Speed boots you're going to have on 90% of your champions for quite a while. He's in attack chest. He's in crit rate gloves. And then everything else is just crit rate or crit damage all the way through. I used him fairly early on in arena, which is why his stats, his speed is super, super low. His HP is low. He has almost no defense. 100, just 98% crit rate and then 155% crit damage. He's not built, like I said, he's not built great for earlier arena. He was doing fine. But even now where I'm at, I don't think he would actually do too well in Gold 4, especially now. It seems to have gotten a lot harder. Early game arena, he's kind of a staple for a nuke. No, I don't even mess with tag team arena. I absolutely despise it. Yeah, he wouldn't hold up against any of these teams. We'll We want somebody we think he might be able to actually hit. But I don't see him. Absolutely no Valkyrie. Maybe we could try it. Don't think it's going to work, but let's give it a shot. Let's see how he does. No, actually, let's go with her. No. 2. Torment, let's see if we can go ahead and get his, get some control there. There we go. Awesome. And for Madame, let's go ahead and see if we can get a decreased defense on these guys. Beautiful. Again, he's slower than crap, so everybody's going to get to go before him. That's probably not going to work out in our favor. Let me strip that shield off. There we go. And he ain't going to do squat. Yep, nothing. But early on in Arena, he actually does pretty good. He can hit hard. He's got pretty good multipliers on him. But, you know, this late, it's, you know, it's definitely hard. You know, now Skull Crown's a tough one to survive a hit from. But we may actually pull this off. But, you know, this is a long fight. Usually, if the other team gets a run, unless you're built for it, if they get a turn, you're done. Unless you're built to handle it. You know, luckily, Tormund, you know, he's about the only one going to throw any damage right now. There we go. Arbiter stood him back up. And he's going to get a go. Got that shield off. And she puts it right back on. Get that down low. There we go. Now Kael's got a clean shot at her. If he's going to get a go. And that one's dusted. Not an absolute beast in gold 4. He can be if he's built right. You know, but my Great Hall, not impressive. All right, guys. We're going to take a look at him in Fire Knight real quick. Let's go ahead and just hit level 12. He's not going to have enough to hit level 20. There's my normal Fire Knight team. Not great. So let's see. Speed lead, turn meter control, revive, decrease defense, bring in a nuke. And you want as many multiple hitters for Fire Knight as you can get, especially on their A1. The goal is to get that shield down once and then control the turn meter to keep him from going again and getting that shield back up. So let's go ahead and do it. See how he does here. Now, Syl, it's a free champion. She's a login reward. You'll get her, I think it's like day 190 or 180 or something like that. Absolutely phenomenal champion. Okay, this girl is awesome. All right, so the goal is we want to get the shield down at this point, 10 hits to take it down. So you want as many multi-hitter A1s as you can get. I don't know if this comp is actually going to have it. Oh, there we go. And Lysandra didn't get the turn meter control, so he's probably going to get that shield up again. Yep. Oh, yeah, we'll get it down again. Ah, she used it too early. You know, sometimes things work out for you, sometimes they don't. Unfortunately, in this case, they didn't. So this is going to be a run that a lot of people might have. Armiger actually does a really good job with turn meter control in this dungeon. For some reason, Lysandra just isn't cutting it right now. But he does heal, so heal reduction is huge on the Fire Knight. He does heal when that shield comes down. See if Lysandra can do her job now. There we go. Drop that turn meter. And we should be in the home stretch now. Xavia's A3 with that poison explosion is awesome. Now, understand it doesn't work well on Clan Boss. It only ticks for one. It only hits for one tick of the poisons. But here, as you can see, it'll clean him up. Anyway, so Kael, 122,000 in damage, not great. But it did get through stage 12. 2.5 minutes, not the fastest time in the world. But chances are you're not really going to be using him a whole lot in late game. You're probably going to have better champions for it. One more. Let's take a look at him real quick. In Ice Golem, he's not that great there. But let's go ahead and we'll hit stage 12 again. And let's move that one. As you can see, I have some good legendaries. I do not have all the top tier. Like, I have no Valk. That is my big one that I want. And Draco. Those would be the two I would love to get. But so far, the Shard Gods have not shown me the love. So his speed's a little low for this dungeon, or at least for this level, but that's okay. We're just looking to see what he can do anyway. I mean, we'll get there. Interesting conversation in chat today. So we'll go ahead and jump to the end. Nobody wants to sit here and watch this entire run. We'll jump to the end and just kind of see how he did. All right, so we're almost to the end here. We're about 1 minute and 40 seconds in. And Kael at 101,000. Pretty weak, but a lot of that goes to how he's built. Clan Boss, I don't have any keys available right now, and I'm definitely not built for Clan Boss. But he can work. especially early game. Up through, I've seen him used up through Nightmare. In fact, I used him into Nightmare before I pulled, you know, a few other champions. There's another one that's really good for Clan Boss, actually, that you can use to replace him. For a Poisoner, that's Frozen Banshee. She is a rare. But he's not bad. Anyway, guys, that is Kael. You want to build him basically 100% crit rate, high accuracy. As far as what level of accuracy you want, basically you want to take the dungeon that you're running and multiply it by 10. Easy way to do it. Take whatever level dungeon you're running and put a 0 on the end. So if you're running level 13, you want an accuracy of 130. If you're at level 20, if you're running, 20 level 20 dungeons, then you're going to want minimum 200 accuracy. Okay, guys? So there you go. There's your basic on Kael. His stats way low, but that's okay. He can still serve a purpose. Okay, you're going to want his accuracy high. You're going to want his speed as fast as you can get it until you start speed tuning for arena or clan boss. And then other than that, you want his HP high, some defense, and then you want absolute 100% crit rate and as much crit damage as you can pump into him. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's Kael. And don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that little bell. That way you guys get notified when I get another video up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.